It was the kind of effort after which you didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Some fans were just numb. Some bagged their feelings, some butted their feelings. They saw the home team get smacked around and just picked up and tossed down. It was obvious these Bengals were dressed but not quite ready to play with everyone else. Some fans sent out an SOS. What else could they say?
I don't have much to say either.
If anyone's walking around here smiling, joking, and feels good, then they really need to consider what's going on. You know, it's just, it was rough out there today.
On the day the Bengals came out to play for the final time, the fans came bundled for a game. The fans that came to the game. There was Orange Santa. There was Nanook of the North.
It's going to be a good one, folks. It's going to be something to watch.
John Copeland may have had good intentions, but awfully bad information. The defense expected the Buccaneers to pound the ball, but on the first play of the game, they started by showing a short pass, Dilfer to Dunn. On the fifth play of the game, they showed long pass, Trent Dilfer to Rob Thomas, who was open for a 50-yard touchdown play. Greg Myers said, "My bad, the Bucs had a 7-0 lead." The Bengals at first showed some resiliency. Their first play from scrimmage was a 13-yard gain from Corey Dillon. Not bad. The second play was even better. Paul Justin dropped to throw and did a good job releasing the screen pass between two defenders. It caught Tampa off balance, and Dillon gained 41 yards all the way down to the Tampa Bay 25. While the fans were watching Dillon, our isolation camera watched Justin get his throwing hand sandwiched between two beefy Bucs. He was holding his hand in pain, but he stayed in the game. In the red zone, things went haywire, this way and that way. And when Doug Pelfrey had a chance to salvage 3 points from the drive, he couldn't even do that. He was wide to the right. The Bucs promptly drove the ball again, but inside the Bengals 20, Dilfer went looking for 6, but he found 33 instead. 33's Ashley Ambrose, who picked him off. And here's where the fun really started. The Bengals went 3 and out when they tried to punt. Greg Costello couldn't handle the high snap. It bounced to Marco Battaglia, but the best he could do was run it back to the 8.
I know I got pretty high up for it. I don't know exactly what happened when I came through it.
The Bucs needed 3 plays to get it in. Mike Allstott handled all 3. Going in over the top, it was 14-0. And then it happened again. The Bucs kicking off to the Bengals. Eric Bieniemy is bringing it back when Shelton Quarry strips him of the ball. Jerry Ellison recovers at the Bengals 31. They gave it to Warrick Dunn a few times running straight. Then Dilfer faded back and ran sideways another 10 yards down to the 3. Then on the first play of the second quarter, Mike Allstott ran it in again. 21-0 Bucs. Yeah, the Bengals were fading fast.
Sometimes you get to the end of the year and you know you're not going nowhere, and you got, I mean, I'm not a guy to point fingers, but, you know, maybe we had some guys that were already on the highway, you know. Maybe we had some guys that were already in the airplane, you know, flying home.
Oh, we saw great attitude. When Paul Justin overthrew Carl Pickens, Carl, the ultimate team player, showed Justin where to throw it. When Justin went back to pass, as quickly as he backpedaled, the Bucs were front pedaling and knocking him down. And when Greg Costello went back to punt again, he handled the snap this time. He just didn't have time to make the kick. Don Davis blocked the ball. The Bucs got the ball at the Bengals 4. It took 3 plays for the Bucs to get it in. Dilfer to Rydell Anthony. The stats showed the Bucs up 28-0.
Go ahead and spout statistics. The statistic I saw was a blocked punt, a fumbled kickoff return, and a muff snap. And it's 28-0.
Justin, meanwhile, was getting murdered. He was getting bowled over by the Bucs. His whole body was aching, especially his throwing hand.
One point in the game, I heard it, first or second series, either dislocated it or something, and got to a point where it was tough to grip the football, and it swelled up.
Well, the offensive line was trying to figure out just who to block. Bruce Coslett said, Eric Kresser, you go in. The fans loved it. They had been asking for Kresser all season. But right off the bat, the second-year quarterback fired over the middle. The ball was tipped and intercepted by the Bucs' Charles Mincy.
It's hard to get in a rhythm when you haven't, you know, it's your second time playing since you've been on this team.
The Bucs had a 28-0 lead at the half, only because Michael Husted missed a field goal, hitting the right upright dead on. It's one of the earliest we've ever seen fans leave the game. Some got nasty, pointing out that UK lost again yesterday. And some got opportunistic, knowing that if they promote tonight's sports of all sorts, we'll put them on TV. There you go. It was still 28-0 early in the fourth period when Eric Presser threw a pass that Rondé Barber picked off near the goal line. And he wasn't done. He ran it back through some really poor tackling, 56 yards, all the way into Cincinnati territory. This is how bad things were going. The Buccaneers would go in to score one more time. Again, it was Alstott, his third score of the day, and 35-0 was the final embarrassment of an embarrassing season. The coaches shook hands, not much to talk about, and players left. Carl Pickens ran off with a 3-word statement.
Hey, this is it.
And this was it for the Bengals, 3-13. Very little to say about the past, trying to believe that sometime it's going to get better.
Got to. I don't see how it could get any worse, you know. We've been through the worst of times. And I mean, this is probably some of the worst years of my life.
This is over with us in the past. Just like last year. It's gone, forgotten about. Only thing we can control now is the future.
3-13 sucks. And I'm never glad that football's over. You know, what happens in the offseason, there's always change. So, you know, maybe we'll do something to make this team better and, you know, come into next year. I get tired of saying that, but that's the way it is.
This is the first time since 1992 the Bengals have been shut out. It's the first time they got shut out at home since the strike season of 1987. If you're planning on running out and getting your tickets for next season, these are the teams that will come to Cincinnati. Of course, the Jaguars, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Titans, formerly the Oilers, and of course the new Browns from within the division, plus the Chargers, the 49ers, and the Rams. Bengals, of course, play at all division sites, plus they will play at Indianapolis, Seattle, and Carolina.